Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Feels like a while since I've put a video on here, so I'm excited to have this one up and running for you. So today I've got a summer solstice themed yoga flow. So summer solstice is the longest day of the year, which is on Saturday the 21st of June. So you might be doing this at a completely different time of the year, and that's absolutely fine. It's just going to be quite a fiery flow, as this is all to do with the sun and our masculine energies. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging than maybe some of my other flows. So if you are a complete beginner, then I would definitely recommend going and doing another flow and then maybe giving this a go later on. But as always, just listen to your body, do what feels nice. So just some of the transitions are a little bit more advanced than some of my usual practice, as I just wanted to spice it up a little. So yes, hopefully you guys enjoy. If you're not already subscribing, then just click the subscribe button, and then you'll always be notified of when I put a new flow up on my YouTube channel. So when you guys are ready, we're going to come and sit in a cross-legged position on the mat. So just wherever you find comfortable, maybe putting a block underneath your sit bones just to elevate your spine, and it might just feel a little bit more comfy to sit for the time we will be here for. So I would like you to rest your hands either on your knees, or you can just have them resting in your lap, whichever you prefer, and then just close off the eyes. So we're going to draw from the outside in. So maybe bringing your awareness to any sensations that you're feeling on your skin today. Maybe if you're outside, feeling the wind, or maybe listening to the sounds around you, so the birds or the trees in the wind, or if you're inside, maybe noticing other people's voices in the house and trying to bring your awareness inside so you're not focusing on that throughout the practice. So bringing the awareness to the breath now and noticing it as it comes in through the nose. And just feel where it comes to. So maybe feeling if it comes down to the lungs, maybe it just reaches the throat, or maybe it comes all the way down into the belly area. Not necessarily making any changes yet, just observing how your body and breath is feeling today. So maybe starting to deepen the breath now here. If Ujjayi breath is something that you use in your practice, then I invite you to start using this now. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then do not worry. Just try to deepen the inhales and the exhales, making them long, deep and slow. Making sure the shoulders are still rolling down the back of the spine and the spine is growing up tall. So now you can choose to keep your eyes closed or open them. Just listen to my cues. And we're going to start to warm up the side body with some stretches. And we're going to open our arms up like the sun. So we're going to place our left hands beside us next to our left leg. Reach the right arm, all the way up to the sky. And then bend over towards the left, opening down the side of the right body. Maybe gazing up to the sky, maybe not, if this doesn't feel good early on in your practice. And then flowing over to the other side, so the right hand is coming down to the mat and the left hand is coming up high. Again, choosing which variation works for you, so maybe gazing up to the sky or maybe down to the mat if gazing up doesn't feel nice on your neck. And then switching over, maybe doing this in a fluid action. And then coming back to the right side. and then back to center. And then we're just going to roll the shoulders down the back of the spine, bring the hands behind you and open the chest up towards the sky. Maybe dropping the head back. Coming back through center. Then we're going to make our way to a downward facing dog. So making sure our hands are shoulder width distance, our feet are hip width distance. We can start by pushing high up onto our toes and then sinking our heels down towards the mat, and this will just ease us into the pose a little bit deeper. Remembering you can always bend the knees as much as possible, and I would advise this for most people at the start of every practice anyway. So maybe walking your dog just to feel a bit more of an opening down the backs of the legs, especially if this is your first downward dog of the day. So now we're going to come into an eagle leg variation of downward facing dog. So to do this, we're going to put all our weight in our left leg, lift up the right leg, bend deep into the left knee, and then we're going to hook the right knee over the left. So maybe just hooking it one time. If you can get the second hook, then hooking the ankle round the back of the calf too. And then we really want to bend into this left knee, sinking the hips towards the back of the mat, but they're not going down, they're going up and back. So the tailbone wants to be pushing up towards the sky, so coming up onto the toes of the left foot. So in a bit of a tangle now, but hopefully you've understood where you should be at. We'll visit this again, so if you can't get it this time, maybe you'll get it the next time. So now we're going to shift, we're going to put all our weight into our right hand and come into a side plank variation with eagle legs. If it's too challenging, just come to a side plank, that's absolutely fine. Then we're going to shift over to the other side. So placing the left hand where the right hand is and then twisting open. This time we're going to sink more into that left knee, and as we open up, we're going to get more of a stretch into the side body, so less of a side plank this side, more of a deeper opening. Coming back through center, keeping the eagle legs if you can. Then we're going to unravel the leg, and then we're going to bring it through to the chest and step it outside of the right hand, coming into a lizard posture. So you can choose to have the back knee down or the back knee up, depending where you want to take your practice to today. And then we're going to just wriggle from left to right in our lizard posture, just to open up. We are going to visit all these postures again in the next sun salutation. So if you want to take it to a less advanced level this time, then when we come into the next time, you can step it up a little bit and embellish your practice. Then we're going to come to an easy twist. So again, you can keep the back knee down or you can bring it up. And then we're going to lift that right arm all the way up to the sky, maybe choosing to open the heart up to the sky as well. Now we're going to transition into a warrior two. So you're facing the right hand side of your mat, and when you open up, you're going to be facing the left. So lifting up through a brief high lunge and then opening up to warrior two. Sinking deep into those hips here. Tucking the tailbone under, arms coming out long, shoulders rolling down the spine and gazing over the right hand. And breathe. So now we're going to transition into warrior three. So if you need to take a few steps to get to there, then that's absolutely fine. Or you can challenge yourself to do it into one fluid action. So you can come onto the back toes to make it easier to twist, and then lift that back foot off, maybe taking a couple of steps, maybe doing it in one breath, one action. Flexing that left foot. Remember, you can always make it harder by having your arms out long by your head if you want to challenge yourself. And then we're going to come into a twisted high lunge. So we're going to bend into the right knee, step the left foot back, open up to the right side of the mat. Then we'll windmill our hands to the mat, come into a low lunge, which should feel like a nice little breather. Told you it was going to be fiery. Got straight into the practice today, so sink those hips down towards the front of the mat. Arms come up nice and high. Then we'll frame that front foot. We'll tuck the back toes under to step back to plank. Then you can lower the knees down to the mat, then the chest and the chin. Or we're going to lower all the way down to the mat, tucking the elbows in. And lower, lower, lower. And then we're going to come to a cobra. So pushing the hands a little bit forward. Heart comes up towards the sky, shoulders rolling down the back. Remembering to breathe here. And then we're going to lower, and then we're going to come back up to here, maybe pushing up onto the fingertips this time to increase the back bend. Lowering down. I'm going to push back through a brief child's pose, so wide-legged child's pose. And then we're going to come up onto our knees and we're going to come to a camel. So we're going to do 2 variations and just go to, so the first one everyone can do, and then if that feels tricky enough, then in the second variation just take that one again. So I want you to roll your shoulders down the spine, bring the hands to the kidneys and just lean back, and maybe this is enough for you today, or maybe you want to drop the head back. It's up to you. Just listen to your body. If you have any pain in the lower back, then just release out of it. And you can come to a child's pose and we'll meet you there in a little while. And release. So choosing that option again is absolutely fine. We are very early on in the practice, but we've got a back bend coming, so I just wanted to warm you up a little bit before we go into that one. So if you would like to take it to the next level, then you can bring your hands onto your heels and push your heart forward. Again, maybe staying here, and that might be plenty today, or you can push the hips further forward and let the head go backwards. Maybe untucking the toes if you are feeling very open right now. Coming up by bringing the hands back to the kidneys, letting the hips and the head come up slowly. Very likely that you'll feel lightheaded now. So just ease, really with ease, come back down to your knees. Rest here for a couple of moments. And then we'll come to a narrow leg child's pose. So forehead comes down to the mat, arms come by the side. And then slowly coming up. Then we're going to make our way back to a downward facing dog. And then we need to do that sequence on the other leg. So this time coming to our eagle legs the opposite way. So put all the weight into your right leg. Bend into the right knee as the left leg comes over the top. Maybe one hook is enough. Maybe getting the second hook. Really pushing down, bending the right knee. But the hips want to come up high. Towards the back of the mat and high. So now we're going to come to our side plank. So we're coming for the left side first. So left hand comes into the middle. Open up the right arm to the sky. And then twist round to the other side. So the right hand goes, the left hand is twizzle on the outside edge of the right foot. Left arm comes up to the sky. But this time we're going to sink into those hips deeper. Maybe bringing that left arm up and over the head to get a deeper stretch. Coming back through center, keeping the eagle legs if possible. Then we'll unravel, step that left leg to the outside of the left hand, coming into lizard. So again, choosing whether to have that back knee down or up, you choose. And then we'll just rock into the rock backwards and forwards, opening up the hip, or if this doesn't feel good, just staying static. Now we're coming to our easy twist, so we're lifting that left arm up into the sky, maybe putting the back knee down, maybe lifting it up. And now we're going to open up to our warrior two. So we're facing the left side of the mat now, but we're going to be facing the right. So lifting up briefly through high lunge, opening up the arms, sinking into that front knee. Tailbone is tucked under. Gazing over the front hand. Shoulders rolling down the spine, pulling away from the ears. So now we're coming to our warrior three. So twisting slightly on the back toes just to get more, it's easier to push up. And then maybe taking a couple of steps to warrior three, or maybe doing it in one fluid motion. Right foot is flexed. This is going to keep you sturdier in the posture. We are aiming to have the left knee straight, but if you need a little bend, then no worries. So now we're coming to a twisted high lunge. So we drop the back leg down really with control and gently and delicately if possible. Windmill that left hand to the back of the mat and the right hand forward, and now we're in our twisted high lunge. Windmill the hands to a low lunge, sinking down into those hips as the arms come up. Catching our breath back maybe if we lost it through that flow. Framing that front foot, stepping back to a plank. So again, remembering knees, chest, chin, and then cobra is always an option. Or if you would like the extra challenge, you can come to a upward facing dog. So lowering chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra if you chose that variation. Downward facing dog. So now we're going to walk our feet to the top of the mat. Do this nice and slow, engage the core, so sucking in the tummy until you reach the top of the mat. Coming to a halfway lift, forward fold, and then slowly rolling the body up to standing, head and neck coming last, shoulders rolling down the spine, and then we'll bring the hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in, and we're going to sigh it out through the mouth. So now we're going to come to another variation of what we've just done, but adding in some extra postures. So you can always come back to the previous posture and just listen to your body and do only what feels nice. So toes touching, heels slightly apart. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe the hands come to the shins, maybe they come to the mat. So you can step, walk or jump back to plank. Knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. So now we're coming back to those eagle legs. So weight is going into the left foot. The right foot is coming up and over, bending into the left knee. Maybe getting the double hook in the eagle, downward facing dog. Coming to our plank variations again, so opening the left arm up to the sky, rooting deep down through that right hand, nice and strong. And then twisting round to the other side, coming into a more stretchy variation, so sinking into the hips as the right hand comes up and over, heart maybe going up to the sky. Coming back through center. Then that right leg is coming to the outside of the right hand. Opening straight up to our easy twist, remembering you can always put the back knee down. Opening up to warrior two, so you're going from facing the right to the left. Sink deep into those hips. Arms come out long. Then we're going to push into that front foot, come into a warrior three. Flexing that back foot. Maybe challenging yourself this time to have the arms out long. Then we're going to bend into that right knee, open up to twisted high lunge, so you're facing the right edge of the mat. And then we're going to come into revolved twisted high lunge, so sweep that left hand forward. Reverse it back to the back of the mat. Then we're going to windmill this left hand down next to the right foot, and we're going to come into a side plank here. So we're pushing all our weight into our left hand and our left foot. Our right hand comes up to the sky into a side plank. Either staying here, maybe putting the left knee down, or we can come into a wild thing. So to come into a wild thing, our right foot comes over the left leg. We can sink our hips down to get into the pose. So the left leg is out long, the left hand is behind. We're going to push all our weight into our right foot, open up our heart to the sky. So coming into a back bend. So this is why we were warming up with a couple of camels. Then we're going to come to our star pose. So we twist on the outside edge of the left foot until our right hand meets the mat. Then our right foot comes through underneath the left arm, goes out on the outside of the left hand, and then we open up the left hand into our star or fallen triangle posture. Then we place that left hand back down onto the mat, bring that right foot through into a three-leg dog. So lots of twisting and turning, so hopefully you are following. Then we're going to bring that right foot in between the hands, and we're going to open up into a half moon pose. So pushing up into the right foot, our right hand comes about 6 inches in front of the right foot, and our left hand opens up to the sky. Flexing that left foot, trying to maintain your balance. You can always put a block underneath your right hand just to raise the floor a little bit closer to you. So now we've got quite a tricky transition. So if it doesn't feel good, then just come to standing and then come to tree. But if you'd like to challenge this transition, you can bring your left hand to your left ankle, place it onto your thigh or onto the calf. And then we're going to gaze on one point in front of you and see if you can bring yourself up to tree pose. So amazing for any of you who managed to do that. If you didn't get it on this side, maybe you'll get it on the other now that you know what's coming. And then lower that left leg down to the mat and come to Tadasana. So I'm going to do that on the other leg now. So inhale, toes touching heels slightly apart. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step, walk or jump back to plank. Lowering knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. So now we've got eagle legs on the other side. So our weight is going into our right leg this time. Bending into that right knee. Hooking the left leg over. And then maybe getting the double hook. Sinking those hips back, but up. So now we're putting our weight into the left hand, opening the right hand up to the sky. and then twisting around to the other side. So the right hand comes where the left hand is. Push down into the hips this time when we open that arm up to the sky, getting more of an opening. Coming back through center. Unraveling that left leg, placing it on the outside of the left hand, coming straight into easy twist so the left hand comes up high. Then opening up to our warrior two, so we're going from the facing the left to the right. So power up through your high lunges briefly, and then sinking into that front knee, arms coming out long, shoulders rolling down the spine, gazing over that left hand. Then we're going to come to our warrior three, so pushing in to that left leg, maybe taking a couple of steps, maybe doing it in one fluid motion. Maybe challenging yourself to have the arms out long. Now we're opening up to our twisted high lunge. So we slowly and control, step that right foot back, open up to the left side of the mat into our twisted high lunge. And then we're going to come into revolved twisted high lunge. So sweeping that right hand forwards, reversing back, gaze into the back of the mat. Now we're coming into a side plank. So the right hand goes next to the left foot. The left foot comes on top of the right foot. Maybe you want to put the right knee down, and that's absolutely fine. So either staying here in your side plank, or maybe the knee down variation, or we're going to come to wild thing. So bringing that left foot over the right, you can lower the hips just to prepare yourself. So the right hand is behind you, the right leg is out long. We're going to push all our weight into our left leg and open up the heart into a back bend. So you can draw the energy up, push the hips up to the sky. Remembering to breathe. Then we'll twist the body over. Bring that left hand back down to the mat. Then the left knee is going to thread through to the outside of the right hand and open up to our star or fallen triangle posture. Then we'll bring that right hand back down to the mat. We're going to sweep the leg back into a three-leg dog. Then we're bringing that left knee through in between the hands, powering up through this left leg into a half moon posture. So the right foot is flexed, the right hand is coming up to the sky. The left hand is about 6 inches in front of the left foot. Seeing if you can maintain balance a little bit better than me. Maybe bringing a block beneath the hand just to bring the floor a bit closer to you. And now we're going to transition into tree. So again, you can just come to Tadasana and then make your way into tree. Or if you would like to try the transition, we're going to bring our right hand to our right ankle. Place it either on the thigh or on the shin, just not on the knee. And then see if you can come all the way up to tree pose. And balance here, maybe gazing just on the floor below you for balance. And then lowering that right leg. So amazing if you managed to follow. That was quite a tricky sequence, but we're going to be cooling down now. So we'll come to feet together, heels slightly apart, roll the shoulders down the spine, and we'll bring the hands to heart center. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, and we'll sigh out through the mouth. So now we're going to squat into our chair just briefly. And then we're going to hook put all our weight into our left leg and hook our right leg over the left. So we've done eagle a lot in this practice, so hopefully you might be able to get the double wrap now in the standing version of this. And then we're going to unravel that right leg to the side, seeing if we can hold our balance. And then we're going to bring it behind us. So I'll show you from this way so you can see what's going on. So we've come from eagle legs, unraveled the right leg out to the side. Then we're bringing it behind the left and we're squatting into that left leg until our bum reaches the mat. So if you didn't quite get there like that, then you just make sure you've got the right leg on the mat beneath you. The left leg is coming up and over and we're coming into a spinal twist. So as we inhale, we grow up tall. And as we exhale, we twist. So you can choose to either just hug the left knee and turn like this, or you can hook the right elbow over the left knee and twist. If this feels really uncomfortable on your bottom leg, you can have it out straight in front like this, or having it in for more of a little bit more of a challenge, making sure both sit bones are firmly rooted on the mat beneath you. So we're growing up tall and then choosing your variation. And then unraveling. And then we're going to come to a pigeon. So I'm just going to face this way so you can see the transition better. So we're just going to unhook that left leg, swing it around to the back of the mat, and then just adjust the hips into a pigeon. So growing up nice and tall. You can choose today to stay in a active pigeon. So your heart is shining up to the sky, maybe bringing the arms back behind you. Just gets a little bit of a different opening, or you can come to reclined pigeon and just relax into the mat. Just allow your forehead to rest into your hands beneath you and just breathe here. And then slowly, in your own time, release out of the posture. Then we're just going to tuck our back toes under and step back into a 3-leg dog. So you can shake that leg out if you'd like to. And then just come back to a downward facing dog. And then step, walk or jump to the top of the mat. And we'll sit back into our chair. So the hips are sinking down, the arms are coming up nice and tall. And then we're going to do that sequence on the other leg. So pushing our weight into our right leg this time, hooking that left leg over. So I'm going to face you again so you can see. So the left leg is over, maybe taking the double wrap. Then we'll release out of our eagle, not putting the foot on the floor just yet. We're going to have it out long to the side, and then we're going to squat into our right leg this time until our bums reach the floor. So we're coming into our seated twist on the other side. So our left leg is bent underneath us, and then the right leg is coming on top. Remembering you can choose to have the left leg out long if this feels uncomfortable. So we want to grow up tall first of all, and inhale, and then as you exhale, twist towards the right. So you can choose to hug the right knee, or you can hook the left elbow over and just roll that right shoulder back towards the back of the mat, and then gaze over that shoulder. Coming back through center. And I'm just going to twist to the top of the mat again so it's easier for me to tell you what to do. So we're coming into pigeon posture. So our right leg is just unraveling, going towards the back of the mat, and then just adjust your hips into your pigeon. So the further away your ankle is from your hip, the harder it's going to be. So again, you can choose to take an active pigeon today. So that would be walking the hands back and just growing up tall. Or we can come into our reclined pigeons, using our hands as a pillow and just resting here. When you feel ready, slowly ease yourself out of the posture. And then we are just going to come back to a 3-legged dog just to shake out that left leg if you need to. And then we'll take one last downward facing dog. And then we're just going to jump to seated, so bending through the knees, come between the hands. And then we're going to just lie down on our mats into a Shavasana. So the legs are going to come out nice and wide, heels firmly on the mat, and then just let the toes fall out to the side. Palms facing up towards the sky, and the chin tucks slightly towards the chest. Just become aware of any areas you feel like you're holding tension in your body. And then in your next inhale, you're going to draw this breath to this place in your body. And then on the exhale, I'd like you to visualize it releasing its grip on you. So over time, this practice will become easier and you will start to feel this release and the element of letting go happening in your body. So staying in your Shavasana for a few moments. So whilst you're lying in your Shavasana, we are going to take this time to think of 3 things that we are grateful for in our lives. So even though this year has been a bit of a weird one, to say the least, it's quite a nice thing at summer solstice to think about the things that you've already achieved in the first half of the year, and then take the time to think about what you'd like to manifest in the rest of the year. So I invite you to think of 3 things you're grateful for that you have done already. And then I would invite you to think of 3 things that you would like to bring into your life. So by this element of letting go to things that no longer serve us, it then creates space for new things to come in, and new opportunities. So just taking this time to do this. I would also advise that you take a few moments after this session just to journal what came to mind. So feel free to pause me and carry on thinking about these things if you haven't done so already, or I'm going to close the practice now and then you can continue to journal about it after as much as you please. So I'd like you to bring awareness back to your fingers and your toes, so just wiggling them, maybe circling them, maybe choosing to stretch the arms up and overhead if this feels nice. Maybe expressing yourself into the longest you can possibly make yourself, so pointing your toes and then stretching your arms as far as they can go, maybe even yawning here. And then I invite you to bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a little hug, maybe tucking your chin to your chest, maybe even giving a kiss to your knees. And then in your own time, rolling over to one side. And then pushing yourself up to seated nice and gently, keeping your eyes closed and meeting me upright on your mats. Rolling the shoulders down the spine and then bringing the hands to heart center. We're going to take a releasing breath all together. So inhale through the nose, nice, long and deep. Exhale through the mouth. Namaste, everyone. Thank you, as always, for flowing with me today. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. So it was a little bit challenging. So maybe if you had a little bit of a wobble in some of the balancing postures, if you come back to it in the future, maybe you'll be able to master it completely and see your progress. So yes, as always, have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the mat again very soon. Bye.